Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. My name is Sherletta Germain, also known as Shet, and I want to welcome you to a special, exciting edition of the Shet Show, Abundance Conversations. For those of you that are listening in for the first time, the Shet Show is an exciting and hilarious weekly podcast that showcases a wide range of guests and experts in all things abundance. This strikingly unique podcast is filled with a few Shetty shenanigans that will make you laugh and keep you entertained from beginning to end. Today is it is my honor and my privilege to bring back to the show a beautiful spirit, a phoenix that has arisen out of her ashes. I always say that. AshleyCae Lee. Now, AshleyCae Lee was a part of my life through a very dear friend of mine and ours, Shanice Darden. And we did a show, and there I found out that you had been dealing with some cancer and some other things, a rare form of cancer called CLL, which is a rare form of leukemia, also breast cancer. And during that time, we were just receiving the help that we needed and adjusting our crown. So since that time, I want to talk to you about who you are and what you've been doing. And I want to welcome you to the stage, AshleyCae Lee. How are you, beloved?
I am wonderful. I'm so glad to be here with you guys today.
Happy to have you. God, brother LP, want to give you a chance to say hi. You know, we get to cackling and stuff, but how are you, sir? Welcome, welcome.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm so glad to have Miss AshleyCae Lee in the house. We're going to have a great conversation during this interview. I want people to understand that when we have these discussions, sometimes they can be triggering because we don't sugarcoat stuff. We don't sit there and have uh, general conversations typically. So, if you're triggered at any point and you need help, immediately, call 911 because we're not going to be able to show up and provide those services that you need. Definitely, we want to just jump into this conversation because we got so much that we want to ask Miss AshleyCae, but we're going to have a concise number of questions because, Mrs. LP, she doesn't like when I tend to, give up one question in 27 parts. The mic is yours.
Absolutely. So no, we don't want to forget about the Mrs. LP, the woman behind the scenes. Shout out to you. I love you so much. So AshleyCae, we talked about how you've been. We do one mic at a time. So I'm going to mic down after I ask you this question. Just let us know. Can you share with us how you've been since your cancer diagnosis and the last time that you were on the show? What's been happening since you're in your life since that time? The mic is yours.
That's such a broad question. As far as going on in my life, I've gotten back into my activism. I'm currently partnering with Keeping Tabs and Keeping Genesee County Beautiful. They have some wonderful projects that my friend Jonathan McKay, that he's the frontline man in, and I've been grateful to be able to work with those projects with him. I have done a pageant where I won the director's medal, I won a creative medal, and I won overall medal. And I've been doing some modeling. I had some editorial work I've done. I've been in 3 magazines. I have an album that just came out, Poetic Advisory, my first album I've ever done. My great friend Zach Rowe, he helped me produce and put together my project. And I've gotten into acting. My friend Star, my friend T, they're both actresses and they've gotten me into acting. So I got some film work coming out. Grateful to them. And yeah, like creative wise, those are the things I really just been into. I really just been trying to get out into the world so that people could see me and see more than just like my diagnosis. They could see me as a person I am. So those are like the great things I've been up to.
Blown away. I know it's LP's turn. Miking down. Definitely blown away. Good night. You have been taken off like you have jet skis, girlfriend. And salute to you, man. Soldiers
Thank
for
you.
real. LP, the mic is yours, God brother.
Thank you so much. SG, what's been the most challenging aspect of your battle with this rare form of cancer, and how have you been coping with it?
Ooh, death. To be honest, dealing with the fact that I know that the type of cancer I have is going to be the thing that's going to be my demise, and knowing that I'm doing everything I can do within my human to make it better and to make myself comfortable. And I know there's some things that I just can't do because I can't afford them. I know there's some things I just can't do because I'm not God. And I've had to get to the place of being okay with it and having to remind myself, like, I'm healed already, whether I'm here or I go. And so I remind myself that all the time because, when you die, it's not the end and it's just the beginning of something else. So I have to constantly remind myself that because dealing with the type of cancer I have, like, that's just the inevitable. And I'm okay with it now. I've gotten to a place of peace. I just want to make the best of my time I have here now.
Muted, LP.
My apologies. Are there any recent milestones or positive developments in your treatment or recovery that you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh no, honestly, I don't have any. I don't have any great news about it. That's just the raw, honest truth about it. I've had setbacks. I've been in the hospital. I'm actually currently dealing with a setback now. I had a bad reaction to my chemotherapy, so like I'm covered in bruises and lesions from the medication. So I don't have any good news about it.
Many of the listeners are inspired by your story. Can you tell us about any initiatives or projects you've been involved with to raise awareness about your rare cancer or support others going through similar challenges, I should say?
So one thing I've done, I'm working with the Blood and Bone Foundation here in Michigan. We have, and currently I am working on writing a bill that I'm going to actually go to the Senate and present, where it's going to help cover cancer patients' medical bills, their housing, food, and gas, to where they won't have to worry about anything but just healing. Because that's the biggest issue that like a lot of us have as like patients, is that we have to choose between whether eating or getting our meds. And nobody in any situation like that should have to choose between the two. So I'm currently working on writing the actual bill that I think that if they actually look at it would help. And it will benefit a lot of different people, not just cancer patients, but people that are dealing with like terminal illnesses and other issues where they can't really work properly to be able to keep the house over their heads, but also, keep up with their meds. So I'm hoping to bridge that gap with the bill that I'm working on. Also, I'm working on my own foundation that's going to be called Wise Word Place, where we're going to use music, art, and poetry to bring healing. I found my own healing within like my art. And so I want to bring that to other people where they can also use their own art to find a way to heal themselves. Because with cancer, it's not just a physical battle, but it's a mental and spiritual battle as well. So for me, I want people to see that, recognize that, and heal themselves in the part that they can. Because it's so much we don't have control over. But our mind and our spirit, we can handle those things.
I got a two-parter for you. For me, being a first responder, being a fire medic, so a paramedic and a firefighter, I'm a clinician. And a lot of the work that I did before I retired actually dealt with patients that had cancers in different forms, because I work for a private EMS service as well as a fire district. And so in EMS and in first responders, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we do to support breast cancer awareness and all other forms, but specifically breast cancer awareness, is on our shirt. So I'm wearing a shirt that represents the St. Louis Fire Department. I didn't work for them, but the company I worked for had a contract with them. I got a lot of friends that work there. So in October, these shirts would be having the logos on them, and they would show like pink in the logos, and on the back they might have a big pink ribbon on them. And this would be part of your uniform that you wear, either on the weekends or depending on your work, they may let you wear it every day throughout the month. And one of the things that I still do, even though I'm retired, is I'm still a supporter of breast cancer awareness. So Mrs. LP upgraded our microphones, and there were 2 microphones that were available. One was black, and it didn't have as many options as this pink one now. I love colors because I'm the guy that had the orange stethoscope working in EMS and fire, because it was like, if something happened to it, I'm going to know if somebody stole it, which actually somebody did. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
So I want to show the viewers my new microphone that Mrs. LP got. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear me. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is the new microphone that Mrs. LP got for all of us.
That's nice.
And so, one of the questions that I have for you is, in your journey, what kind of support or assistance has made the most significant difference for you?
Can you repeat the question again for me?
In your journey, what kind of support or assistance has made the most significant difference for you?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, the moral support I get from people. So on days when I'm having really bad days, having people call me, or having like my best friend Kai, she would just come and sit with me after chemotherapy. Having those type of moments where people are just sharing like that moment of grief that you're having for yourself, for me, has been the biggest support, because oftentimes I have moments where I feel very alone and isolated. So having somebody just be there, honestly, is the best support.
Are there specific ways our audience can provide support or assistance to you or others facing similar health challenges?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say be kind. Please be kind to people that are like dealing with illnesses, especially like cancer. We're not gonna always be happy, bubbly, everything's okay. And I know for me, for the longest time, I felt like I had to do that. I had to be bubbly. I had to act like everything was okay all the time, and just be mindful of the people you're around. Like when you're dealing with somebody with that, and also, cancer is a financial burden. It is a heavy financial burden. So if you see someone who's dealing with it and they're reaching out for help and they're saying, "Hey, I need help," even if you can't donate, share their information, because you may be able to reach someone who can, because every dollar counts. Like every dollar counts. And just being able to do something as simple as eat is important to us as patients. So just the moral and the financial support is just a really, really big thing for like people battling cancer.
I see that on your link tree, you have a GoFundMe page. So I'm going to share that on the screen right now, and pass the mic over to Sherletta for the next questions.
This is never an easy topic. It takes a lot to show up for yourself. And as a Flint native, I remember that I forgot to mention that you're not even 30 years old. She's 27 years old. And I'm talking knocking this thing out the park. And I have a list of questions that my little AI chatbot provides, right? And it kind of streamlines things because sometimes I'll get that old Baptist. We just need to stay on topic, right? People got things to do. And so, so this was a great segue to the next question. I do want to talk about more about what you said as far as writing the bill. You're my shero. I don't think that and I can express that enough, that you are my shero. You are, and I remember the AshleyCae that was very nervous, very afraid, very broken, and something stirred up. That's why the title is what the title is, The Return of the Phoenix, because something was stirred up in you and you got up and you rose again in the midst of adversity, in the midst of your diagnosis. So the question that I have with my wind up is, how do you stay positive and maintain a resilient spirit? You've kind of answered that already with your friends and your support system. If you want to add anything to that, but you talked about, actually, I think that was your question, LP. Do you have any advice when we're dealing with the difficult situations, right? We're not always, and I'm saying we, right? Because I went through that battle first. I was on that battle first. I watched some of my friends get better and I watched some of my friends not get better, right? So you know that a lot of the stressors that come is I'm paying for my chemotherapy, or I'm paying for my rent or my mortgage. I'm paying for my prescription, or I'm paying for my car note. You know what I mean? I got to figure out if the repo man going to get me, or I can't get my medicines this month. It is so taxing. And to not have a soul tribe is devastational. And so I thank God that you have a soul tribe that has connected themselves with you to make it easier to do what it is that you do. And I want to do my part, right? Because there's sometimes that I can say, here, AshleyCae, go get you some, you know what I'm saying? Go get you some, whatever it is that you got to taste for today, because it changes your taste buds. It makes you not want to eat. It makes you pissed off. And so for you to be able to do that, but let's do it on a massive level, right? Let's bring her back and get her expansive so that people can know that these are really real situations. And yes, it's okay for me to show up sometimes for myself, but damn, can I get a little help? And so that's what I'm here to do. That's what God Brother LP is here to do. You are such a force in the activism streets. You're such a force for our young people. You're a locomotive in these cancer streets. And to be able to support that, people, listen, it's not even no fundraiser or no campaign, but y'all already know what it is. You need to get on board with this one right here, because she's going somewhere. So AshleyCae, my final question for you is, looking ahead, what are your upcoming plans? Do you have any projects that we need to be getting ready for? And then, of course, we need to find out how we can reach you. Like I said, I wasn't going to cry. You just don't even know what your presence has done for Sherletta Germain. You have no clue. You have no clue how I thank God for the Shawnee's Dardens that even connected the Pink sisters together in that DM, what was it, about a year or two ago? And to be able to hug you face to face at her wedding. You are making history. She was doing a poem at the wedding, y'all. It's like she got cancer a couple of places, but she don't stop. So we all gas, no brakes. How can we support you, AshleyCae? And how can we get in contact with you, baby girl? The mic is yours.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm emotional. I say it's the cancer that made me more emotional these days, but no, I'm really appreciative of just the light and energy you guys pour into me. I have some shows coming up. I have Hairchella the second annual version of it this year in November. It's going to be at the Flint Farmers Market. I'll be performing poetry there. I have another album that's coming out that's called Black God, and I have some poems and pieces on there with some friends that we're doing. Um, I have a book that I'm working on that I'm hoping I'm gonna get finished, but I'm working on a book. Um, Honestly, I'm grateful for you guys. It is a struggle. This week has probably been one of the hardest weeks I've had in a long time. I think that's like why I'm getting emotional because it's been a burden. The cancer has been a burden on me. Um, just not being able to get pain medicine has been horrible. And I've been having to go back and forth into the doctor's office just to get pain injections to help the pain go away for a couple of days, and it's been bad. It's been really bad. I'm just trying every day to put a smile on my face, and every day I hope that I bless somebody. And if tomorrow comes and I'm not here anymore, I just want people to remember me as the beautiful light that I had. I don't want them to remember me as the cancer patient or the girl that was sick. I want them to remember me as a poet, remember me as an activist, remember me as a lover, remember me as a great friend. And I just hope that me telling my story will inspire other people to tell their story and inspire people to be like, it's okay to ask for help. That's one thing I had to get over with battling cancer. You cannot fight this by yourself. You are not God. You are not the God. You can't do it alone. And you're going to have to tap into the people around you and allow them to pour into you. And I think that's one of my hardest things is being like, I need help, which I do. I need help. And you guys can contact me through my social media. I'm AshleyCae. I'm Dr. Wise Word. You guys can find me. My GoFundMe is up, so if you'd like to pour into me that way, that'd be wonderful. Every dollar counts, honestly. I'm so heavy in medical debt, it's not even funny. They call and harass me at least once a week, asking me to pay that bill. My kids are going to be paying that bill. So, um, I just appreciate you guys just to welcome me here today, and I'm sorry I got all emotional, but I just thank you guys.
No need to apologize, beloved. You already know what it is. This is family. And like I was saying on the earlier part, you got the ones that have their prestigious Harvard degrees, and then you got cousin Junebug and them down the hall, you know what I'm saying, with the six-pack beer and some cigarettes. That's probably me, right? We try to be as professional as we can because we know where this audience is reaching. But in the reality of things, behind the scenes, healing from cancer, watching somebody take their last breath, watching somebody go through the motions of what the aftermath of one treatment for cancer, what it does. You have that right to be emotional. If you don't want to share a poem with you, that was a random request, a random ask. I'm gonna toss that mic back to LP so he can close us out, so we can get us up out of here. But I love you. Please be your authentic, abundant self at all times. And sometimes that means, some of them emotions that stirred up, we get pissed off, but let that fuel do what it needs to do to let you live your dash out loud. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. I give you a standing ovation because you deserve everything that this show will bring to you and then some. And I'm going to do what I can to make sure that we bless not only these airwaves, but bless those pockets, because cancer and finances is not a good recipe for healing. All right, can down.
Thank you. I really do. I appreciate it. And I can share a poem with you guys. Um, if you guys don't mind, I can share a poem with you guys. So the piece is titled When They Tell You. When a doctor tells you you got cancer, your ears fall mute. His voice is the empty shadow of a nothing you get up and leave. When you first have chemo, your stomach is a ball of anger. Bruised arms and needle holes, you are no longer human but pincushion. Forced back tears and dried tongue. And when you tell your friends you have cancer, some show their true colors white. Others pour into you with rainbows, paint sunshine on your gray clouds. Some ring bell, reminding you are woman, you are beauty, goddess of this hair flesh. Others press caught you in the wind, comfort you when you can't yourself. Some are your sunshine, and others sap up tears. And when you first lose your hair, shaky hand, your mother shaves your head and tells you it's a magic trick, and you believe her. And when you're told it has spread, you sit and heckle, boiling over past the point. You heckle like a teapot, body quivering when you are told you may be no more. You call court to get things in order. He tells you, man has no say. He tells you, put that salt around you, baby. He tells you, I love you. Nick tells you in time, all will be all right. I love you. You sit with yourself, meditate, tone on knees, sage burning. You meet Aaron and James. I love you. I love you. You act as all is okay while masking all this pain. When you're told you have cancer, you cry enough to feel the now. You cry enough that you are here now. Precious time not to be wasted. Get up and stop acting as if you're done. When you talk about the cancer, you bear your wounds. It will not win. Whether I stay or go, it will not win. Whether I stay or go, I win. When I was told. Thank you.
That deserves all kind of snaps.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, AshleyCae, and I want to give you your flowers as well as you, Sherletta, because you all are warriors. You all are warriors. I was going to give this to you, AshleyCae, because this is your interview. However, because you and Sherletta share this cancer fight in common, I'm going to have this be a split thing. I have this thing that I call my superhero wall of fame. And it's based on this plaque that I got from Mrs. LP that I got hanging up in my office. So when my camera went off, I went up and got it off the wall. So here it is. This is a plaque that I got from Mrs. LP. It's a wooden plaque, and it says, "Not all superheroes wear capes." And it has the EMS Star of Life on it. The reason that this is one of the most important things to me is because as a first responder, people call me heroes, superheroes, all this stuff. I won award, life-saving awards, got all kind of accolades and all this stuff. You know, when I think of a hero or superhero, I know most of the time we think of these Marvel comic characters, DC comic characters, and you know, the Batmans and the Supermans and the Aquamans and the Wonder Woman and these different entities. I say a superhero is an ordinary person doing some extraordinary stuff in some extraordinary situations. You all being survivors and thrivers of this battle with cancer, you all are doing some extraordinary work under some extraordinary medical circumstances. To me, that's a superhero. So I want to thank you, AshleyCae Lee. I want to thank you, Sherletta, for being part of my superhero wall of fame. And I also want to thank you, AshleyCae, even more for taking this medical journey with your head held high. You let all those tears flow because at the end of the day, I'm just a person. You're just a person. You know, we're just humans. And the goal is to treat each other humanely, despite of our ethnicities, our political beliefs, our financial capabilities, all of this stuff. At the end of the day, we're all part of this human race. And as Prince said, we're all just trying to get through this thing called life, one day at a time. So I want to thank you, AshleyCae. That poem was beautiful. I need you to send it to me. If you all want to get in touch with AshleyCae, I have her information on the screen here. You know, her Linktree page, her GoFundMe page is on here also. And so you can absolutely look in the show notes, and we'll have some of these links posted in the show notes where you can get in touch with her and see all the great works that she's doing and the great content that she's putting out there. I want to pass the mic over to Sherletta because I always say in closing, take a first aid CPR AED class, stop the bleed, because it's not a matter of if, but when and where an emergency is going to happen. And we want you to be prepared. I want you to be an immediate responder to someone like me, who's a first responder, can come up and take over that care of those individuals or that person that might be hurt, injured, or worse. My man Doc, my work partner, he says be a by-doer instead of being a bystander. LP out.
Well, this has been another exciting episode of the Shet Show, Abundance Conversations. We like to unpack, repack, so that we can heal. We need those wounds to breathe and air out. My goal and my intention for this show is to bring a level of inclusivism where people can feel that their story is one that is powerful enough to be shared and to be on the airwaves for the entire world to see. And so, AshleyCae, it has been my honor, it has been my pleasure, it has been my duty to bring you back on the show, and thank you for such a phenomenal experience. I always have something that I feel like Source gives me as a blessing, because I might not be able to send you flowers or hand you flowers, but I can certainly repay you with digital currency, right? For all of the world to see how beautiful and magnificent God created you to be. That's a poem that just came out fresh, you see, because God has orchestrated you and me and God, brother LP, and the successes of all of those that are connected to be amazing. Continue to be amazing until the day that you take your last breath. You've done what many of us at 40 and 50 and 60 could never do. So I salute you, queen, goddess, warrior, fighter, hashtag AshleyCae, hashtag get the bag, hashtag go find her, hashtag she's all that in 16 bag of chips, hashtag AshleyCae. I love you so much.
I love you too.
And we will see you next time. For those of you that want to be a part of the Shet Show, Abundance Conversations, you want to buy us a cup of coffee, you want to, do what it is that you do, you'll be able to find us on the socials. But give AshleyCae some digital currency, right? Like and share her videos, right? Give her some stars. Send her $2, $3, right? Might not be able to get you nothing but some penny candy, but at least we know that somebody's considering you and me too, right? So pay it forward, you all. Whatever it is in this thing that you're doing called life, pay it forward. Kindness changes everything, right? And those that you are of us that are chosen, you know that your success is inevitable. And those are all facts. No matter what comes against us, we always rise again, like the phoenix that I see inside of AshleyCae. So Baptist preacher shutting down, not the Baptist preacher, but y'all already know what it is. I'll see y'all next time on the Shet Show. We'll see y'all next time on the Shet Show. We'll see y'all next time on the Shet Show. LP out.